Good morning students, this is Reema, your biology educator from V-Learning. As you know that V-Learning is an online educational platform where we strive to provide quality education for all. So to get all the benefits from our channel, do subscribe to our channel if you have not subscribed, and also don't forget to visit to our website, that is www.v-learning.in, where you will be getting all the pre-recorded videos, the live classes, the animated videos, and all the PDF notes of these topics. So let's begin today's session without any delay. So you remember in our last class we have learned about the morphology and anatomy of cockroach, right? So today we are going to complete the morphology and anatomy of the frog, which is the last topic of this chapter, that is chapter number 7, structural organization in animals. So this is lecture number 5. So let's start today's class. Yes, so frog. So we have already learned about this frog, that is the phylum Amphibia, right? We have learned about this in chapter number 4, the phylum Chordates. So where you have learned that the frogs comes under the Amphibia, right? That is, they are amphibians, isn't it? So they can live both in land and water. So this frog, they have head, they have trunk, but they do not have neck and tail. So talking about the frog, so first thing you should know that frogs are amphibians, right? That is, they can live both in land and water. Next is what? They belong to phylum Chordates. Okay, they belong to the phylum Chordates. And this frog, they also have a membrane in their eyes, that is known as nictitating membrane, okay, which provides protection to their eyes. So the frogs, where you will see generally the frogs, we will see in the land and also in the water. Generally they prefer the moist places, okay. So which phylum they belong to? They belong to phylum Chordata. Okay, so the frogs are amphibians. They are amphibians. All right. The frogs, they have head. Okay, so this is what? This is head, right? And they have got trunk. Okay, this part is known as trunk. So what is absent in frog is they do not have neck. Okay, neck is absent, and tail is absent in frog. Can you see tail in the frog? No. The tadpoles have got tail. Okay, tadpoles have tail, but the frogs, they do not have tail. And they have got eyes. As you can see, they have eyes, right? They have nose. Okay, here they have nose, nostril, and they have eyelids. Okay, on top of the eyes they also have eyelids. Now how they listen? They do not have ears like us. They listen with the help of, here near the eyes there will be tympanum. Okay, they listen with the help of tympanum. So tympanum helps them to get the sound. Okay, they can listen to the surroundings with the help of this tympanum. Now look into this. The frog, they have the limbs. Okay, they do not have hands and legs like us. They have limbs. Okay, what they have? Limbs. So they have limbs. They have forelimbs and hind limbs. Okay, so these are the forelimbs which you can see. These are the forelimbs. So forelimbs are 4 in number. Okay, forelimbs are 4 in number, and this which you can see, okay, they are the legs. These are the hind limbs. Okay, these are the hind limbs. Hind limbs are 5 in number. Okay, hind limbs are 5 in number. So generally you will see that the body of the frog, they will be having the patches, okay? They will be having generally the patches in their body. So that will be green, green or brownish in color. So in the body of the frog, you will be looking that some green patches are there, okay? So green dots are there and they are generally olive green in color, okay? The dorsal part of the frog, okay? Which one is the dorsal part? That is the front side, okay? The front side which is visible is known as the dorsal side, right? So this will be olive green in color. The dorsal side is olive green in color. This is the dorsal side. And the ventral side, so look into the ventral side, that is the downside portion, okay? The ventral side will be pale yellowish in color, okay? So this ventral side, okay, this will be pale yellowish or yellow in color. Is that clear? So this is about the morphology of the frog which you should know. So see, look into the taxonomic classification. Which phylum they belong? They belong to the phylum Chordata. They are chordates, right? And class Amphibia. So they belong to the class Amphibia and genus is Rana tigrina. Okay, Rana tigrina. That is the scientific name of the frog. So the scientific name of the frog is Rana, right? Then tigrina. So this is the scientific name of the frog. So look into this frog. Here you can see the green dots, isn't it? They are olive green in color, as I said, right? The dorsal side. And here you can see some patches on the body of the frog. And the ventral side will be yellowish in color, pale yellowish in color. Clear? So this is the taxonomic classification of the frog. So next, let us learn some of the general characteristics of the frog. Generally, these frogs are cold-blooded animals, okay? They are also known as poikilotherms, okay? They are also known as poikilotherms, okay? Poikilotherms. This is a term which you should remember. That is, the cold-blooded animals are known as poikilotherms, all right? So the frogs, they will not have a constant body temperature. They do not have constant body temperature like us. For human beings, we will be having a constant body temperature, right? But in case of frogs, they do not have constant body temperature. So sometimes you will find them in the land, sometimes you will find them in the water. So how they are able to respire when they are in the water? So do you know that the frogs have got 3 things for respiration, okay? So they have lungs, they have gills, and they also can respire with the help of skin, all right? So they use skin, they use lungs, they use gills, okay? 3 things they have for the process of respiration. So when they are in the water, they will be using the gills for the process of respiration. When they are in the land, they will use the skin or the lungs for the process of respiration. So that time the pulmonary respiration will take place in case of the frog. So as you can see that they do not have constant body temperature and they are what? They are cold-blooded animals or also known as poikilotherms, right? So as you can see, they are the frog which is in the water, right? Now another characteristics they have, okay, which protects them from the prey. That is, they can change the color according to the environment. For example, the frog is walking towards the green leaves, okay? So it can adjust the color of the body according to the color of the leaves. What we call that? We call that as camouflage, right? So that is, they have the capacity to mix the color, that is, change the color of the body according to the surroundings. Clear? So as you can see in this picture, as you can see that the color of the leaves are green, right? So the frog, it is turning into greenish in color, isn't it? So this is how it protects itself from the prey, okay? it hides. So they have the ability to change the color to hide them from the enemies. Clear? So this is the characteristics. Now they also have got protective coloration. Okay, so this protective coloration is nothing but it is known as mimicry. Okay, it is known as mimicry. So they take shelter in deep burrows to protect them from the extreme heat and cold. So what they will do, they will dig holes inside the soil. Okay, that is, they will form the burrows. Okay, so they will form the burrows, and inside that they will take the shelter in order to protect them from the extreme heat and the extreme cold. So this is also known as summer sleep, that is estivation. So sometimes they go for estivation, that is long sleep during the summer, which is known as estivation, and the winter sleep, that is known as hibernation. Okay, so the summer sleep is known as what? The summer sleep is known as estivation, and the winter sleep is known as hibernation. So this is how they adjust their body, and this is how they adapt to the environment. So next, look into the picture. As you can see in this picture, the green dots are clearly visible, right? Olive green dots, isn't it? So this is how they have got the patches in their body. So again, you can see that the frog has got the bulging eyes. So as you can see in this picture, right, the bulging eyes, and this is protected by a membrane that is known as nictitating membrane. Okay, nictitating membrane. So they have got nictitating membrane which protects them from the dust. Okay, so they also have nose here, as I have said, and also they have tympanum, right? So which helps them in hearing. So next, yeah, the skin. What about the skin? Have you ever touched the frog? Okay, so the skin of the frog is very, very smooth and slippery. Okay, so the skin is smooth and slippery. Why? It is because of the presence of mucus. All right. So they have got mucus deposition on the skin, on the outer layer. Because of this, they have got skin which is very, very smooth and slippery. And the skin always maintained a moist condition, which is very, very much essential for them to maintain the body temperature, to regulate the body temperature. So the skin always maintain the moist condition, and the color of the dorsal side of the body is generally olive green, which you have already seen in the picture, right? Here also you can see that the color of the dorsal side, right? Which one is the dorsal side? That is, which you can see, right? Visible side, the dorsal side. So the color of the dorsal side is olive green in color and with dark irregular spots. So as you can see here, the dark irregular spots will be visible, isn't it? So this is how the body of the frog is. So on the ventral side of the skin is uniformly pale yellow. That is, which I have said that the ventral side of the frog is pale yellowish in color. And do you know that one of the characteristics of frog is it will never drink water? Okay, it never drinks water, but what it does, it absorbs it through the skin. Okay, so it never drinks water, but it has the capacity to absorb the water through the skin, because the skin of the frog is very, very moist, right? So they have got pores. Through these pores, they have the capacity to absorb the water and keep it. Yes, the body of the frog is divided into head and trunk, which you have already seen, right? So they do not have neck. Neck is absent. And what is absent? Yes, tail is absent, right? So the neck and the tail is absent in case of the frog, and the body is divided only into head and trunk. So the body is divided only into two parts, that is head and trunk, and the neck, tail are absent, which we have already seen. They have what? They have mouth, that is above the mouth. They also have mouth, okay, and they also have a long long tongue. Okay, so have you seen that the frogs, they will be catching the insects, right, with the help of this tongue, isn't it? So they are what? They are generally carnivorous. Okay, that is, they feeds on the insects, right? So they are carnivorous animals. They are not herbivorous. They are carnivorous, right? So they eats the insects. So they uses the tongue to grab the insects, isn't it? So a pair of nostril is present. So on top of the mouth, what they have? So on top of the mouth, as you can see, this is the mouth, right? So this is the mouth. On top of the mouth, they also have nostril. All right, so this is the nostril, and eyes are bulged. Okay, so eyes are bulged. Look into the eyes. How are the eyes of the frogs, right? So it is bulged towards outside, isn't it? And already I have said that they have got a nictitating membrane, isn't it? So that protects while they are in the water, right? So that provides protection while they are in the water. And also they have got what? They have got tympanum, right? So they have got tympanum which receives the sound. So on either side of the eyes, they have got what? They have got a membranous tympanus. So for example, here somewhere, okay, on either side of the eyes, they have what? They have the tympanum. So what it does, this tympanus, what they help them to listen to the sound of the surroundings, right? Get the sound signals. And you have seen that the frogs, they also have the forelimbs and the hind limbs, right? So they have forelimbs and hind limbs which they use for the walking and jumping, right? So the forelimbs and the hind limbs, they help them in swimming, walking, jumping, right, leaping, burrowing. Okay, so all these things, how they do with the help of the forelimbs and the hind limbs. So as you can see in this picture clearly, so these are the forelimbs. Okay, these are the forelimbs, and these are what? These are the hind limbs, right? So what they do with the help of this, how they will walk, how they will jump, how they will swim. So they use this forelimbs and hind limbs for walking, jumping, burrowing, swimming, etc. So feet has webbed digits which helps in swimming. So the feet, they have a webbed digits, so which helps them in the process of swimming. And you can identify the male frog and the female frog. So you know that the frogs are dioecious, isn't it? So we can easily identify the sex of the frogs, right? Whether it is a male frog or it is female frog. So how to identify the male frog? The male frogs will be having like this vocal cords. Okay, what are this? These are the vocal sacs, sorry, they have got vocal sacs. So these are the vocal sacs which will be present in case of the male, okay, in case of the male frogs. And one more thing you will see in case of the male frog is they also have what? They also have pads. Okay, what type of pads? Copulatory pads. Okay, so they have got this special type of copulatory pads on the first digit of the forelimbs, okay, which are absent in case of the female. So what they have in case of the male frog, so in the forelimbs, okay, in their forelimbs they have got a pad, okay, that pad is known as copulatory pads. All right, so this is known as copulatory pads. So what is the use of this copulatory pads? So what they do with the help of this, whenever they want to have the they want to do the reproduction, okay, so during that time they will go near the female frog and they will use the copulatory pads. They will touch, okay, they will touch the body of the female frog with the help of this copulatory pads, and the fertilization will take place. Okay, this is the process how the male and the female frog mate with each other. The female frog will lay the eggs. Okay, the female frog will lay the eggs. She will know that it is the time for laying the eggs, so the female frog will lay the eggs into the water. So this is how the this is how the process of reproduction, how it will takes place in case of the frog. So male frogs, how you will distinguish? They have got two things to distinguish. What is this? One is your vocal sac and another is what? Another is the copulatory pads, okay, where they are present on the forelimbs, which are absent in the female frogs. So is this clear? Next, let us move into the anatomy of the frogs. So far we have learned what? So far we have learned the morphology of the frog, right? So we have seen that how is the body structure of the frog, and also you have learned the various general characteristics of the frogs, like how they are going to reproduce, and what is the distinguish, that is how the male frog and the female frog are different from each other, isn't it? And how they are going to maintain a constant body temperature. So what is the color of the body, and what about the skin? So all these things you have learned in the morphology, right? Morphology means what? As you know that morphology means studying the external features, that means which you can see, isn't it? External features means which are visible to us, which we can see, right? So now we are going to learn about the anatomy of the frog, that is the internal system which we cannot see from the outside, isn't it? So let's start the anatomy of the frog. Here you are going to learn about the digestive system of the frog, the circulatory system of the frog, the respiratory system of the frog, then how the frogs they excrete, that is the excretory system, right? And also you will be learning about the nervous system of the frog and the reproductive system of the frog. So all these things we are going to cover under the anatomy of the frog, right? Yes. So digestive system of the frog, same like the human being, okay? So that digestive system of the frogs are same like the human beings. Like in case of us, we have what? We have mouth, right? So then what we have oesophagus, isn't it? That is the food pipe. So through the food pipe, the food will go where? The food will go to the stomach, isn't it? So again from the stomach, what happens? The undigested food, it will go to, that is the partially digested food, it will go to the small intestine, right? And from the small intestine, the undigested food will go to what? Will go to the large intestine, and then finally it is released with the help of the anus, isn't it? But in case of frog, they only have got only one opening, okay? They have only one opening, that is known as cloaca. What is that? That is known as cloaca. So that is known as cloaca. So cloaca is the only one opening through which the frogs excrete and through which the reproduction also takes place. All right, that is the transfer of sperm and the release of eggs. Everything takes place with the help of this cloaca. Even the excretion, that is the release of urea from the body, okay? The excretion, urination, the reproduction, everything takes place with the help of a single opening, that is known as cloacal aperture, right? That is known as cloacal aperture, as you can see in the picture. So this is the internal structure of the frog, which you can see. Like in case of us, we have heart, right? We have heart, then we have lungs, we have gallbladder, we have liver, isn't it? Even we have pancreas, right? So the frog also have all these organs. Okay, the frog also have all these organs. So as you can see in the picture, heart, okay, the frog has 3-chambered heart, okay. So we have 4-chambered heart, right? The frog has 3-chambered heart. So as you can see in this picture, the heart is shown as 3 chambers, right? So they have got 3-chambered heart. Then what you can see, this brown color structure. This is nothing but this is the liver, okay? This is the liver. And this lungs, the pink color, what you can see, this is what? This is the lungs. So this is lungs. They have got a pair of lungs. And they also have the fat bodies. So these are the fat bodies, the yellowish, what you can see here, these are the fat bodies and the bean-shaped structure, right? So this bean-shaped structure is what? This bean-shaped structure is kidney, isn't it? So this bean-shaped structure is kidney, and they have got ureter through which the excretion takes place, right? That is the urination takes place. So it reaches to the cloaca, and from the cloaca it comes out, right? So this is the only one opening. So see, this is cloaca, and this one is the urinary bladder. This is the urinary bladder. So if I draw the digestive system here, so what will come first? The mouth, right? So the mouth will come first. After that, what will come? After that, the oesophagus will come, right? So as you can see in this picture, isn't it? Oesophagus. So oesophagus is connected again with the liver, isn't it? So liver. So again, near the liver, what they have near the liver, they also have the gallbladder, right? They also have gallbladder. So which juice is secreted in the gallbladder? As you know that which juice is secreted, that is the bile juice, right? The secretion of the bile takes place in the gallbladder. So the liver and the pancreas, these are what? These are the two glands, isn't it? The liver and the pancreas, these are the two glands which are responsible for the process of digestion. So the liver secretes from the gallbladder, the bile is secreted, and they also have pancreas, okay? The pancreas is somewhere here, okay? They also have pancreas. So this pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice, okay? So which is also involved in the process of digestion. So from the liver, as you can see, what it is, it is connected to the liver, then it moves to the stomach, right? So it moves to the stomach. Yes. Yeah, so it moves to the stomach, right? And from the stomach, the undigested food moves to what? The undigested food moves to the intestine. So the undigested food from the stomach, it moves where? It moves to the intestine, isn't it? It moves to the intestine, and it is being released through the cloaca, right? So it moves to the intestine. Then it comes here, right? And then it comes here. So from here it comes here, right? This is the rectum, and this is known as the cloacal aperture through which the excretion takes place, right? Undigested food are released. So it comes to the rectum. They also have got rectum, and then through the cloaca, right? Through the cloaca. Through the cloaca, the undigested food are released. So this is how the digestive system of the frogs, right? So this is all about it. Next, let us move into the respiration. Okay, how the frogs respire. As you already know that the frogs, they have what? They have gills, they have lungs, and they use the skin also. So three things they have, okay? When they are in the water, they can use the gills for the process of respiration, and they also use what? Skin and the lungs. So in the water, they use the gills or the skin as the aquatic respiratory organ, that is known as the cutaneous respiration. And from the water, what they use the dissolved oxygen, okay? The oxygen that is dissolved oxygen in the water is exchanged through the skin by the process of diffusion. So they use the two methods, that is the land. In the land they use what? In the land they use the lungs, and in the water they can use the gills and the skin. So in the land, the respiration is known as the pulmonary respiration, where they use the lungs, okay? So the respiration which takes place with the help of lungs is known as what? Is known as pulmonary respiration. And during activation and hibernation, the gases exchange takes place through the skin. So when they go for summer sleep or winter sleep, during that time what they use the skin. Okay, they use the skin for the process of respiration. So this is how they respire. Now talking about the circulatory system, so how they that is the circulation of blood takes place. So for the circulatory system, what you need for the circulatory system? For the circulatory system, that is, we need what? We need heart, right? Then we need blood. Then what is needed is blood vessel. So, do the frogs, they have blood vessel? Yes, the frogs, they have blood vessels. Okay, the frogs has blood vessels. They also have blood, and they also have what? They also have heart. So, the heart in case of the frog is 3-chambered heart. Okay, they have got 3-chambered heart. So, how a 3-chambered heart looks like? That is, they will be having 2 atria and 1 ventricle. Okay, so something like this. So they have got 2 atria and 1 ventricle. So 2 atria and 1 ventricle. So this is also atria or atrium. So the blood first comes to the atria, and then it is being transferred to all the parts of the body with the help of the ventricle. So they also have blood vessels, they also have heart, they also have blood. So when an animal they are having the blood vessel, what type of circulation it is? It is, yes, it is closed circulation. Okay, it is closed type of circulation. That is, the blood vessels are involved in the transfer of the blood to all the organs, right? In case of open circulation, what we have seen, in case of open circulation, that is, all the organs are bathed directly into the blood, right? Because they do not have the well-developed blood vessels. But in case of frogs, they have got the well-developed blood vessels. So all the bloods are, the blood is circulated through what? Through the blood vessels. Is that clear? So in case of this frogs, okay, blood, okay. So talking about the blood, like in our blood, we have got 4 components, isn't it? RBC, WBC, and then platelets and plasma. Similarly, in case of frogs also, they have the components like RBC, WBC, right? Then platelets and plasma. So all these components are present in their blood also. Okay, so all these components are present in their blood also. So this is about the circulatory system of the frog. So next, let us learn the excretory system of the frog. So how the frogs, they excrete, how the excretion takes place. As you have seen that the frogs, they have kidney, isn't it? So excretion takes place with the help of what? With the help of kidney. Now in case of us, what happens? We have got a pair of kidney, right? That is, our kidney is bean-shaped structure, isn't it? So in case of frogs also, they have got a pair of kidney, right? And excretion takes place with the help of what? With the help of this kidney only. So inside the kidney, like in case of human beings, we have got tubules inside the kidney. What do we call these tubules? Yes, we call them as nephrons, right? So inside the kidney, we have tubules which is known as the nephrons. So what are these nephrons? Nephrons are the main unit of the kidney, where the, what happens in the kidney, that is where the purification of blood takes place, right? The kidney is responsible for what? Purification of blood, that is filtration. So nephrons are basically responsible for the process of filtration of what? Filtration of blood. Clear? So in the kidney, they have got nephrons, which is responsible for the filtration of blood. So see here, the excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys, right? Then uterus, right? Then cloaca and the urinary bladder, right? So it consists of uterus, cloaca, urinary bladder, and the kidney. That is, they have a pair of kidney. So cloaca is the single opening, right? So cloaca is the single opening through which excretion, reproduction, everything takes place in case of the frog. So each kidney is composed of several functional units, as I have said, that are known as what? That are known as nephrons. So each kidney consists of the functional unit that are known as nephrons, which is responsible for the filtration of the blood, right? Yes, two uterus emerge from the kidney in the male frog. So the uterus, it comes from where? So if the kidney is yes, if the kidney is bean-shaped structure, right? The kidney is bean-shaped structure. So from here, what happens? From here, the uterus comes out. Let me draw it here properly. So if this is a kidney, from here, the uterus comes, right? And they comes here, and this is the opening, that is cloaca, right? So here, through the cloaca, that is the excretion takes place. So the uterus acts as the urogenital. The uterus acts as the urinogenital duct, okay? The uterus acts as the urinogenital duct which opens in the cloaca. So this is how the excretion takes place in case of the frogs. So in case of female, the uterus and the oviduct open separately in the cloaca. So in case of female frog, the uterus and the oviduct, okay, that is the ova, formation of ova, it opens separately in the cloaca. So they have a thin walled urinary bladder which is present in the ventral to the rectum and which also opens in the cloaca. And frogs are also known as the ureotelic animals, okay? So they are also known as the ureotelic animals. Why they are known as ureotelic animals? Because they excrete urea, okay? What they excrete urea. The excretory product of the frog is the urea. So that's why they are known as ureotelic animal. And the excretory waste are carried by the blood into the kidney where it is separated and excreted. So the excretion, okay, the excretory products, how it is carried, the blood is responsible for transportation. So it transports the food also. Along with the food, it also transports what? It also transports the waste materials too, okay? So the blood transports the excretory waste to the kidney, and from the kidney, with the help of uterus, it is released to the cloaca, right? So this is how the excretion takes place in case of the frogs. Yes. Now let us learn the nervous system of the frog. So the nervous system of the frog is same like the human beings, okay? So as you know that in case of we human beings, we have got various nerves, right? We have got the central nervous system, which includes the brain and the spinal cord, right? The brain and spinal cord, isn't it? Then peripheral nervous system, which includes the cranium, isn't it? And the autonomic nervous system, which includes the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nerves. So all these nerves we have in our body. Similarly, in case of frogs also, they have the same nerves in the body, and these are the longest cell, right? So the brain consists, that is, the brain is divided into forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Like the human beings, as you know that the brain is classified into forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain, right? So similarly in case of frogs also it's same, okay? The nervous system is same, but only the difference is in case of the frogs, the cranial nerve, okay, the cranial nerve is 10 pairs, okay, the cranial nerves is 10 pairs, whereas in case of human beings the cranial nerves is 12 pair. So this is important, okay? So the cranial nerve is what? It is 10 pairs in case of the frogs, whereas in case of human being it is 12 pairs. So this is the nervous system which the frog has. Now the frogs, they also have the sensory system, as you already know that they have got eyes, right? Then they have got tympanum which helps them in listening to the sound, and also they have got different taste buds, okay, with the help of which they are able to sense, that is taste the things, and they have got nose, isn't it? So through the nasal chambers they are able to sense the things, that is smell, sorry, they are able to smell. So they have nasal epithelium, they have eyes for vision, they have hearing, for hearing they have tympanum with the internal ears. So that is, these are the internal ears which we cannot see. Our ears are external, isn't it? The frogs, they have got internal ears that are known as what? That are known as tympanum, which we cannot see. So they have got various sense organs like sensory papillae in their tongue, okay? So in their tongue they have got papillae which helps them to taste, okay? Then they have got taste buds, they have got eyes, they have got tympanum, right? So they have got various sense organs. Out of this, eyes and internal ears are well organized structures, and rest are the cellular aggregations around the nerve endings, okay? So only the eyes and the tympanum is what? It is a well developed structure. Rest of the structures are the cellular aggregates which are not properly visible, right? Yes. So eyes of the frogs, they have a pair of spherical structures situated in the orbit in the skull, right? And they are simple eyes. What type of eyes they have? They have simple eyes. In case of cockroach, you have seen that they have two eyes, right? Simple eyes and the compound eyes, but they have only simple eyes. And you know that external ear is known as tympanum, which is also responsible for balancing, okay? They helps them in listening, hearing, and also in balancing. So this is the sensory organ of the frogs. Now let us learn about the reproductive system of the frog, which is the last topic for today. So in case of human beings, for the reproduction, we have got testes, and in case of female, they have ovaries, right? So similarly, in case of frogs also, they have got a pair of testes, so which is lying near the kidney. So as you can see, this is the kidney, right? This is the kidney, and this yellowish color, what you can see, this is the testis, right? Which lies near to the kidney. So the male reproductive organ consists of a pair of yellowish ovate testes which are found adhered to the upper part of the kidneys by a double fold of peritoneum called the mesochorium, right? So they are present where the testes are present, just at the upper part of the kidney, right? And they are yellowish in color. So as you can see, on top of the this kidneys, near to it, they also have got fat bodies attached to it, right? Fat bodies attached to it. So in the testes, as you know that the testes will be connected with the what? With the vasa efferentia, vasa deferens, right? But in case of the frogs, it is called as vasa efferentia, right? It is known as what? It is known as vasa efferentia. Through which the reproductive ducts are being transferred, right? Through which the reproductive ducts are being transferred. So they are 10 to 12 in number that arise from the testes. So they are 10 to 12 in number, okay? So the vasa efferentia is 10 to 12 in number. So where it comes into the kidney, and inside the kidney they have got a canal that is known as Bider's canal. Okay, so inside the kidney they have got the canals. Okay, so inside the kidney they have got some canals. These are known as what? These canals are known as the Bider's canal. These are known as Bider's canal. So what happened in the Bider's canal? In the Bider's canal, what happens? The urinogenital ducts, okay, that comes and gets deposited, okay. So in the Bider's canal, all these ducts, okay, all the ducts are getting deposited where? In the Bider's canal of the kidney, and they are being transferred through what? They are being transferred through the cloaca. Okay, so this is a single opening through the cloaca. The ducts are being transferred, right? In case of male, that is the sperms are being transferred through the cloaca. So this is how the reproduction takes place. So the cloaca is small median chamber that is used to pass the fecal matter, urine and the sperms to the exterior. So the cloaca is responsible for three functions, right? That is the fecal matter, which is the excretion, the excretory products, undigested food, right? And the sperms in case of the male, and what? Urine, right? So cloaca is a single opening. The frogs have what? The frogs have cloaca, right? So in case of female, how the reproduction takes place? In case of female, as you can see here, what they have got ovary, right? Ovary is also attached to the kidney, isn't it? As you can see here, the ovaries are also attached to the kidney, and what they secrete? They secrete ova, right? Ova means eggs, okay? So from the ovary, the ova are being secreted. So the female reproductive organ consists of a pair of ovaries. They have a pair of ovaries, which you can see here, they are attached to the kidney, right? So this is what this red color structure is, nothing but the kidney. They are attached to the kidney. So what happens next is the ovaries are situated near to the kidney, and there is no functional connection with kidneys from the ovaries open into the cloaca separately. So there is no function of the kidney. The ova are directly released into the cloaca. Okay, so the kidney has no function in case of the female reproductive system of the frog. The cloaca, that is the ovas, as you can see, the ovas will be directly released with the help of this oviduct. It is directly released to the cloaca. So this is the opening, cloacal aperture. So the ovas are directly released. Kidney is not involved here. Okay, kidney is not involved here. So yes, yeah. So a mature female frog has a capacity to lay how many eggs? It has the capacity to lay 2500 to 3000 ova at the same time. So how many? 2500 to 3000. Okay, 3000 ova or eggs it can lay at the same time. And the fertilization is what? Fertilization is external. The frogs, they do external fertilization. That is the development of the baby is taking place outside the body, right? So they are generally oviparous, isn't it? They are oviparous. Oviparous means those organisms, that is the baby is developed out, that is from the egg outside the body of the female, right? So they are oviparous. That is, fertilization is external and it takes place where they need water. Okay, they need water for fertilization. And the development is what? Development is indirect. Directly it will not develop. From the eggs, what happens? So the female will be laying eggs, isn't it? That is the ova. From the eggs, the larva, right? The larva will be developed, isn't it? So they will be following the larval stage, and it will develop into tadpole. Okay, so it will develop into tadpole. So which will be having the tail, right? And from the tadpole, what happens? That is the metamorphosis takes place. Okay, what is this metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is nothing but the larva. From the larval stage, the tadpole is developing into a adult frog, right? So this is how the development takes place in case of the frog, that is metamorphosis takes place. Okay, metamorphosis is taking place in case of the frog, that is from the larval stage it is developing into an adult frog, right? That is the baby of the frog at first, that is after the development, after fertilization, after the development will not be same like the adult frog, so it will be called as tadpole, right? And slowly gradually it will develop into an adult frog. So this process is known as the metamorphosis. They have to undergo metamorphosis in order to develop into an adult frog. So this is about how they reproduce, right? So next, let us learn the benefits of the frog. Are the frogs beneficial to us? Are the frogs beneficial to the ecosystem? Yes, they are. How they are? Because they eat the insects and protect the crops. Okay, so they are beneficial for the farmers. They are beneficial in the field of agriculture. They eat the insects and they prevent the damage of the crops. Okay, and they maintain the ecological balance. Okay, they are a source of food chain and food web in the ecosystem. So in the you know about the food chain, right? Each and every living organism is dependent on one another, so the transfer of food takes place, that is the transfer of energy takes place. That is the frog, it will be eating what? It will be eating the insects. Again, the frogs will be taken by the snake, isn't it? So in that way the ecological balance is being maintained, that is the food chain is constant, right? So it also helps in maintaining what? Maintaining the ecological balance. And in some countries it is also taken as food. Okay, in some countries it is also taken as food. So this is the benefit of the frog, how it is helpful to us. So in today's session we have learned about the morphology and the anatomy of the frog, right? So if you find this session useful, do like it and also share it with your friends so that they will get benefit out of it, and be connected with Vista's learning. So in the next session I'll be starting with your chapter number 8, which is the cell, right? So this is all about today. Take care. I'll meet you in my next class, and bye bye.